Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Pugsley Crew Reviews, a podcast about films, whether they're good films, bad films, just okay, we'll give them a watch because we like watching films, except for Cocaine Shark, because that's shit. Today we have Kerr 9000 with us. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just chilling. Had a sandwich for dinner today. That was tasty. Actually had a cheese roll with a Peter's pasty and a packet of discos.
Oh, you can't beat the classics.
You been up to much, man?
Not much, just the regular.
Playing games, watching films, doing
exactly.
reviews, doing a playthrough of XCOM Enemy Unknown, or is it XCOM 2?
Oh, Enemy Within, which
Enemy
is
Within.
the add-on pack to Enemy Unknown, isn't it?
Yeah. That was close enough.
Yeah.
Been putting it on TikTok.
Yeah, I just wanted an idea for little videos to put up and stuff you could do if you got a sore throat or couldn't be bothered to, do too much.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I need to actually start doing more stuff outside of podcasts. I need to get back to doing reviews. I need to get back to streaming. It's just time. I'm always tired.
Oh, yeah.
Today's film is a film that I'd never heard of. It was suggested by Kerr. Any reason why you suggested the film?
Because of Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. That's fair enough. The film is Rent a Pal. I believe it's some sort of like thriller, horror, psychological thing.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting, actually. Basically, the film is about a man who is really rather lonely. Really rather lonely? Just really lonely.
Yeah.
Basically, he's looking after his mother who has dementia. So he hasn't really got much of a life. He's trying to find a girlfriend through video dating, which for those who are, doing internet dating and stuff, it's a similar kind of thing. But it was back in the 80s and people would, and 90s, people would basically talk to a camera. People would then watch the tape and then they'd get in contact if they like the person on the tape.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I never did that. I've never done internet dating or anything like that because I don't want to. But so he is like looking at different people and he's watching one video and he skips it and he's watching another one and he skips it and he comes to another one. And she's like, I just want someone who I can connect with, who does this and that. And then she goes, oh, but they can't live in their mother's basement. And then he just knocked it off because he's living in his mother's basement. Obviously, because he's looking after his mother. It's a bit different to just someone who doesn't want to leave. Like, it's a very different thing, but people are people. So he goes to record a new video of himself. It's been 6 months since the last one. Going to record a new one, and he gives this really nice, heartfelt video about being a caregiver and wanting someone to care for, and somebody else he can care for and care for him, and all this stuff. And it's a really nice, heartfelt video. And then the guy's like, who's filmed, is like, oh yeah, can you do a 30 seconds? Like, but the videos I've seen, they're longer than that. And he's like, yeah, women get longer, the men get less time because, there's so many of them. So many men on you compared to women. Fair enough. And then he does a second video to replace the first one. And it is just a train wreck of a thing. It's like, I want a woman to care for. And it's just like, the way he comes across is like really fucking weird and daft. Whereas, it wasn't like that in the first recordings because he's trying to somehow get the same points across in a much shorter space of time.
Yeah.
And it just comes out as, like I said, a train wreck. And he, when he's leaving, after doing the video and stuff, he finds a video called Rent a Pal. So he takes that home, sticks the Rent a Pal video in. It's like he starts speaking back to the video. The video is basically a video of someone who's just your friend kind of thing, and they'll talk to you and you'll talk to them. So it's basically, if you're lonely, at least you've got someone to talk to. But like, he knocks it off quite quickly because like he's in the middle of speaking and he'll like interrupt him. So it's like he couldn't really care what he wanted off his chest then.
Yeah.
So he knocks it off. He goes, deals with his mother, comes back down, and then somehow the video's back on, and it's like says something to him, which he jumps a fucking mile. But I don't think he at the time was like, oh, I knocked that off. He just knocked it off again. So I thought it was pretty interesting in that respect. It's like
a realistic film, isn't it? It's not stupid stuff or supernatural. It's normal situations and normal problems and a person who's suffering from loneliness, which, you know, most people will at some point in their life. So it's some of it's very relatable. Yeah,
definitely. By the time the film finished, I was like, me and the missus were talking about it, and we're like, is it the fact that Andy was somehow interacting with him properly? Because at some point in the film, he's like talking about this woman that he was having sex with. And he starts going, Dave, and that's the name of the guy. And then it's like he makes a noise, and his mother's standing by him, going, "Oh my God, you're masturbating! That's you dirty bastard, Frank!" That's hitting him because that was the name of her husband, which obviously she forgets that is dead because she's dementia. So, like, certain points of the film where things happen, and I'm thinking, is Andy somehow really some living kind of being, or is it Dave got to the point where he just lost it and is imagining Andy to be actually real?
Yeah, and it doesn't really tell you, does it? So it leaves it completely open to your interpretation, what way it lies.
Yeah, you just I wasn't sure. I kind of like the ambiguity, but at the same time, I wouldn't have minded a definitive answer, especially considering he buys another tape, Rent-A-Pal tape. He's speaking to Andy, and Andy's like, "Oh, we can do this stuff," and it's like, well, it would be, I don't know. It's as if he knew the stuff that had happened previously. It's like. Yeah. When he accidentally turns the TV on when he's with a woman, because he finally does eventually get a woman to go back to his place, and she starts rubbing his leg, and the TV actually knocks on, and Andy's looking at the TV, like from the TV, really fucking like pissed off at Dave and the woman, and then obviously like comes in his pants before anything happens, and Andy bursts out laughing.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that makes me think.
That bit made me laugh.
It's things like that made me think, oh, clearly Andy's a living, breathing thing. And then other times I'm thinking, is it coincidental certain things happen? And because of Dave's state of mind that gets worse throughout the film, he's perceiving it, and then we are seeing kind of what he's seeing to feel like that Andy is alive when he actually isn't. That makes sense.
I think that's ultimately how I took it, was that he's fell off the deep end and we're seeing what he sees. But it isn't concrete. I took it that way, but you could take it the other way, that the tape's sort of possessed or in some other way has life. And I think either way of seeing it's got its own scare factor. Because, what's scarier, the fact that there could be something that could influence you in such a way, or the fact that people are so susceptible through loneliness to go that crazy that they see and hear what's not there.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, it shows him for a while. Like he watches it little by little. Then there's kind of like a montage like bit where it seems like he's just repeatedly watching the same thing. But he meets a woman, goes on a date with her. That's Lisa, I think her name is. So he goes on a date with her, and it goes well, and we're going to meet him the next day. But he goes back to tell, oh, it's great. We really hit it off. And then Andy's like, yeah, but you've only gone on one date, and we had plans tomorrow. Like, did we? He's like, yeah, we were going to play cards. And it's like, again, it's that point of, is he imagining Andy having this conversation with him, or is Andy actually having this conversation? And I think that's pretty cool. I think Will Wheaton played a good, not what seems like an average guy, but comes across as somewhat creepy.
Yeah.
Like when he sits down to have a chat with Dave at the start, and they talk about parents. He's like, my mother spanked me so hard one time that I was sick all over the floor. It's no wonder I didn't become some kind of psychopath or something.
Yeah.
And that's played a few times, and I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here then? Is Andy going to somehow start killing people? But one of the things that I did find weird in the film is every so often, Will Wheaton, Andy, in a certain scene, he takes a photo of him and Dave.
Yeah.
Like, that photo is somehow on the mantelpiece or in another photo frame from the perspective of Andy taking the photo. So, like,
which makes no sense at all.
It doesn't. So, like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, is he just imagining these things, or what? How does it work?
No, I mean, I think you could definitely get a sequel out of this film and explain it more. I'd tune in for a part 2.
Yeah, I would. I wonder if it would lose some of the mystery, though, if you kind of explain it too much. That's the problem.
Yeah, I suppose that's a potential risk, isn't it? That maybe the unknown helps it.
Yeah. It's like Star Wars and the Force and midichlorians and stuff. Kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
Same with Dragon Ball and S cells for Super Saiyans. It's like kind of ruins it. Dumbasses. What did you think of the film altogether then? Because I actually rather enjoyed this. I thought it was a pretty good film. And considering it had such a small cast, I think there's like Dave, who you see prominently through the film, his mother, who I did not need to see naked. Will Wheaton, who you see a lot. Then there's the woman, the receptionist woman, who you see occasionally when he goes to that video place. The camera guy, see once or twice. And then Lisa. I think that's about it. But mostly it's just mainly Andy, David, and the mother.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those films that essentially I'd say you could do as a stage play. It's that low in cast, that low in places. There's not a lot of sort of sets to speak of. You know, there's his basement, his upstairs, the rental shop, and the occasional bar or whatever they're at.
Yeah.
It must be quite a low-cost film, really. It's probably the most expensive thing, and it would have been Will Wheaton, and I don't think he's exactly, Nicolas Cage.
Probably not.
I do like him, though. I mean, most people just see him as that guy that was annoying Wesley Crusher on Star Trek The Next Generation, but in truth, I never found him that annoying on Next Generation.
I honestly, I remember watching quite a lot of Next Generation when I was young, but honestly, I just don't remember it all that much.
Well, I think it was one of them things where he's a kid and he's supposed to be a genius and he saved the day on nearly a weekly basis. So people are annoyed by it. But it didn't annoy me that much because, Einstein would have been a kid once. So, you know what I mean? You're going to have smart kids.
Yeah. I remember him being in there, but I don't remember him much, if that makes sense.
He was just there for Patrick Stewart to say, shut up, Wesley, a lot too. and to cock block Patrick Stewart from getting some against McFadden.
That's why people don't like him.
Yeah. You know, though, there was an actual video like this in the 80s. I think it was called Rent a Friend.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I'd love to see the original video. I wonder whether you can find it on YouTube or anything.
No, such a thing existed.
Yeah, I mean, I think this basically is based off somebody. Oh, yes, you can on YouTube. You can find videos of the Rent a Friend. A video released in 1986 for lonely people.
That's crazy. I did not know they did an actual Rent a Friend video back in the day. That's mad.
Well, I guess it just shows, doesn't it? People have always been lonely.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
it is
nowadays
crazy,
just
though.
go on the internet and masturbate to porn.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Mrs. just looked at me dirty and shook her head. Ugh. You child, she's thinking. Grow up. But yeah, I genuinely didn't know there was a rent of. I wonder if it's based on like some sort of a thing that may have happened back then.
Well, you've got to think, can't you, that everything that's existed, somebody's got crazy off of and done something stupid. So maybe somebody did
Yeah.
get too invested.
Well, I don't know. So I did really enjoy this. I thought it was actually rather fun. Like, I think, again, looking at the information, I think it's got like a 6 odd rating on Internet Movie Database. Not that the Internet Movie Database is like the be all and end all of reviews, but it seems to be like people seem to think it's sort of,
Well,
okay, but
all right, not amazing sort of thing.
yeah.
Into it.
But I thought it was really interesting. Like I rather enjoyed how it all played out. It was fun. It was not fun, fun, like, but it was fun in the sense of it was quite interesting to see the progression of David as well as Will Wheaton and stuff. Which, to be honest, must have been difficult for quite difficult to do because you'd have to act to a TV screen and then just listen to a thing play and then act. No, he's not acting against someone. It's kind of like when you saw stuff from more recent films. Well, this is a recent film, actually. Like films where they use a lot of CGI characters and stuff, and they literally talk to nothing or a ball on a stick.
Yeah.
It's like, it must be quite difficult to do. Compared to actually interacting with another person.
I suppose they could do it, though, where Will Wheaton's in one room and they're like beaming it to the TV.
Yeah.
Bit like a, Skype call type situation. So then he'd be able to react if they could both see each other somehow. That's how I'd get around it, but whether they did or not, I don't know.
No, I have no idea. One thing I did notice is the more further throughout the film, it seemed like Andy was getting a bit like miffed at certain things, which could have been the way Dave was perceiving things. But every time that was happening, I noticed he'd have to start messing with the tracking as if like the video was getting like screwed up. For those who don't know, tracking is a thing that used to be on VHSs. Well, the VHS player, and you like the picture would go funny and a bit of like snowy fuzz on it, and you'd have to tune the tracking to make it work. It was a pain in the ass. DVDs were easier for that in that respect.
Oh, yeah.
Also, you had to constantly, when you finish a film, rewind it because supposedly it damages the tape if you don't. I don't understand why, but it supposedly does.
I've never believed that. I've always thought that's something that parents and rental shops told you just to try and,
Yeah, I don't understand why you would, though, because if all the tape is on the left side at the start, everything is there ready to go for, right? How would that be any different if everything was on the right side when it needs to be rewound? I think it's just so people didn't have to rewind it to stick it on. So let's watch a film. I'll rewind it. It's going to take 10 minutes. I'll press play then. But obviously, as things progressed, rewinding got faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose if you don't use them very much for a while, they can stop working as well.
I know you used to be able to watch a film so much that you killed it on VHS.
Yeah. One thing I
Uh,
liked was David's mother near the, like, if we skip loads of the film and go like near the end, David's mother is cutting out stuff and sticking things down, and she's cutting this stuff, and he's not really paying attention, and he goes downstairs, talk to Andy about something, and he noticed the tape is gone, and he's going, Andy, where you hiding, kind of thing, and I was like, what the fuck? And then he goes upstairs and notices his mother has cut up the tape. That's what she was saying. It's like cutting up. She's like, this isn't sticking. And he goes fucking ape shit. He's like, you've taken everything from me, and smashes her around the face with the actual broken VHS, which cuts her face and stuff. And then he goes and buys another copy. And then that's when he sticks in, plays it, and he's like, oh, we could play a game. And he's like, what are you thinking? And then he goes and chucks his mother down the stairs. So again, it's like David has completely lost the plot. Oh, Andy's really good at convincing people to do things without doing anything. If that makes sense.
I mean, it does make you think, though, if it is that Andy's sentient and he's obviously in every tape, there could be people everywhere doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's sort of scarier than the one guy being nuts.
Yeah, it is. But that's the thing. It's like when he was watching the tape and he was sitting there having a wank, and he was going, "Oh, David," and then he's like, "Bang!" and then all of a sudden his mother's standing next to him. So it's like it comes across as he knew his mother was there, because then as soon as that, he started pissing himself laughing.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah,
It's like he wanted him to get caught.
it's a bit of a strange one, but I rather enjoyed it, and I think it's definitely one that I would recommend to people to give it a try, because it's interesting, even if it's not the most, I don't know, exciting film in the world or anything like that. It is actually a very interesting film. You know, it kind of can connect with a lot of people as well with loneliness. Now, just don't go killing your mother at the end.
No, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, you got anything to add about this film? About what you like, dislike, that sort of thing?
My only criticism I've got, really, is a pacing one. I do think it could have been a bit shorter.
See, that's the thing. I didn't realize it was on for as long as it was. It's like hour and 40 odd minutes, and I didn't realize it was on for that long.
Yeah.
For me, it was the pacing wasn't too bad, whereas the last film I watched,
Oh, yeah, compared to that, the pacing's amazing.
that was an hour and 10 minutes long, and it felt like it was on for like 3 times longer than this.
Oh, definitely.
Fuck you, Cocaine Shark. I'll never get that time back. But yeah, this is definitely worth watching. For those who haven't seen it, check it out. For those who've watched it and are listening now, yeah, just hit us up on, like, well, I'm on Blue Sky, not Twitter, so hit me up on Blue Sky and just be like, yo, Pads, I like this film. Well, I didn't like this film. Let me know what you think.
Yeah,
Here's
it'd be great to hear from people.
It would be. Is there any final thoughts you'd like to add before we jet off?
No, I think that's about it.
Cool. That is going to be us then. We will be back in a few weeks, as always. Well, I say as always, as usual. But yeah, check out Rent-A-Pal if you haven't. And I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.
Latest taters, bye.
Yeah, someone who is kind, gentle, caring, who will remind me that everything is going to be okay, and someone that will be there for me no matter what. Oh, and he can't live in his parents' basement.